സ്കൈവ്യൂവിൽ നടക്കുന്നത് ഇന്ത്യൻ വംശജരുടെ പോരാട്ടമാണ്. സ്കൈവ്യൂവിലെ ലിബറൽ പാർട്ടി സ്ഥാനാർത്ഥിയായ നിർമ്മല നായിഡുവുമായുള്ള അഭിമുഖത്തിലേക്ക് റിപ്പോർട്ടർ ജോസഫ് ജോൺ, ഗ്ലോബൽ റിപ്പോർട്ടർ എക്സ്ക്ലൂസീവ്.
Good evening. Today we are with Mrs. Nirmala Naidu, who is a Liberal Party candidate for Skyview constituency. We will ask her what is her program for Alberta's constant unemployment, what is her program for green energy, especially in this climate changing time, what is her program for the family, for the immigrant families to Canada. So let us talk to her.
All right, so your first question was about unemployment?
Unemployment.
Right, so the Liberals have had a great track record. We have been in power for 4 years, and in that time we have the lowest unemployment rate in 40 years, which is pretty impressive. And also under the 4 years of the Liberals being in power, Canadians have created more than 1 million jobs over the past 4 years. So that's a pretty, something we should all feel really good about, for sure. And in addition to that even, of course, to protect jobs, when Enbridge lost confidence in the pipeline, the Trans Mountain pipeline, the Liberal government stepped up and decided that we needed to buy it to protect jobs, so that we could make sure that we get our product to market. The pipeline will be built by 2022, and it will triple capacity from Edmonton all the way to the BC coast. So that's going to help us to keep people employed.
That's it. And second question is, what is your program for the green energy, especially in this climate changing?
Right. So we definitely believe in climate change. I'm one of the only candidates that's worked for a gas pipeline company and also for the Alberta Climate Change Office. So I know that you can grow the economy and protect the environment, and that those two things go hand in hand. So we have a price on pollution, right, which is going to help us to change behavior. I always say to people, a price on pollution works much like, remember when you used to go to the grocery store and you just asked them for a plastic bag, and then all of a sudden someone said you had to pay 5 cents for that bag, and all of a sudden now you take your own, right? That's how a price on pollution works, except you're getting that money back, but it's to make you think twice about what you're using and try to change behavior, just like we did with plastic bags in grocery stores, right? We are also moving towards net zero emissions by the year 2050. So we're rewarding corporations that help us to do that by either manufacturing things that help us to get to net zero emissions, or by emitting net zero emissions themselves. And we're giving them a 50% corporate tax cut for doing that. So that's pretty incredible as well. I do know that when I worked for the Alberta Climate Change Office, a lot of my stakeholders would come to me and say, we've always wanted to diversify. We always wanted to go, make the industry more clean and more innovative, but the government wasn't backing us. The Conservative governments weren't giving us any money or backing. Well, the Liberals are. So they're able to do some of those things, and that will in turn help us to diversify the economy. When I worked at the oil and gas company that I was at, the pipeline company, I found a plan on their shelf for carbon capture and storage. And it was a really neat plan, and I said, why aren't we using this? This is so amazing, we can roll this out. They said there's no government money for it. That was 5 years ago under the Conservatives. And so now those people, those companies, all those oil and gas people and anybody else who has some great ideas about how to innovate has the backing of government, the Liberal government, and can start helping us to streamline the industry and diversify towards cleaner alternatives.
Thank you. And third question is, what is your program for the new immigrants to the Canada?
Well, first of all, the Liberal Party is about immigrants. We believe this country was built by immigrants, that immigrants are what make this country so great, and they're part of the fabric of the nation, so that's one thing. For immigrants, we're doing a few things. We are going to be eliminating the fee that you need to become a citizen. So that's huge. That's $600 per person. If you have a family of 4 or 5, that's a huge savings, so that's number one. We are making it easier for caregivers who come here to get their families here, to get visas for their children and their husbands immediately, or wives immediately upon coming to Canada and working here. We have a student stream program where we're increasing the eligibility for students to come and study here and to stay and get permanent residency afterwards. We're reducing the wait time for those student visas from 6 weeks to just 2 weeks.
Oh, it's a good news.
Yeah, so that's fantastic as well. And I'm just trying to think of what else I can tell you. I mean, basically, we know that this country, immigrants are what makes it great. So we're trying to make sure that we can welcome more immigrants into our collective family. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time, ma'am, and thank you very much. We wish all the best for this election.